ceasefire proposal, Israel invades Rafah, crossing Biden's so-called red line.
My grandson was arrested in the student protests at his college last night. At the start, there were only about 30 students there from his school protesting, but when cops from 3 neighboring towns appeared and then helicopters overhead, more faculty and students joined them. On the news, they say that the student protests are the only thing giving Gaza hope. Yasser agrees. I am proud of my grandson.
May 7th, 2024. Israeli troops seized control of Gaza's vital Rafah border crossing on Tuesday in what the White House described as a limited operation, as fears mount of a full-scale invasion of the southern city and talks with Hamas over a ceasefire and hostage release remain on knife's edge. It seems President Biden has moved his red line.
You know, I guess what really kills me the most is the hope. Every time there's some negotiation or some countries recognize Palestine or the International Court of Justice makes a pronouncement, Yasser writes with so much hope. And then his despair followed. And still he gets up and he walks kilometers to fetch water for his family. This kind of resilience, I don't know. I cannot imagine what I would do. Yasser is an amazing example of the will to survive, of humanity.
May 11th. It seems that I forgot to tell you, Nada's nephew was killed by being targeted by a tank shell. And he is 17 years old, was 17 years old. Unfortunately, he lost his life, and he did nothing wrong. May 25th. Now we hope to implement the international criminal resolutions because this means ending the war, at least even temporarily, to allow us to return to our homes. Among the International Criminal Court's decision is to open all land crossings with the Gaza Strip. We're looking forward to this announcement.
It seems hope really does spring eternal.
June 1st from Khan Yunis. My mother has been in Cairo since before the war began for medical reasons. Now she can't get back. Yesterday we talked to her by internet. Recently, Youssef no longer eats the food we make. I asked my mother to ask him why you are not eating, Youssef. He looked at my mother and told her that his mother's food is not delicious. Grandma, I miss your food and also the milk you used to make for me. Youssef looked at his grandmother and smiled. When will you come here to prepare milk for me? It brought tears to my eyes when I saw my children's love for my mother. It made me think, if we were by some miracle able to go to another country, will the children adapt quickly to a new life in another culture? A lot of questions are running through my mind. Yesterday, I could not sleep thinking about the rest of my life, thinking about the future for my family after the end of this war. June 2nd from Khan Yunis. I will decide for Nada and the children to travel to Saudi Arabia after negotiations. When the truce begins, at that time, the Rafah crossing will be back in operation and they will be able to travel immediately. The next step is crucial. But I must be prepared and also anticipate all outcomes. I follow the Hebrew media, and the matter appears to be planned between Biden and Netanyahu. The strange thing is that after Biden's proposed announcement, Netanyahu received an invitation from the Democrats to the United States to hold a conference in Congress. It seems strange because this has not happened since the beginning of the war. It seems that we are on the verge of another war and a continuation of the war here.
July 31st, 2024, Tehran, Iran. Hamas's chief negotiator for the Qatari brokered ceasefire talks with Israel, Ismail Haniyeh, was assassinated today. Iranian and U.S. officials believe Israel assassinated him. Israel has said nothing.
Every day that I live here in Gaza, I am amazed at the way the Israeli army enters residential areas here. The size of the technology used is very impressive. And the great support provided from the Western world, as well as the support of some Arab countries, is a dangerous indicator of what is happening here. Israel entered Rafah from the Egyptian side. It used the Egyptian wall to protect its back while entering Rafah, and the northern part of Rafah was exposed, and this allowed everyone affiliated with Hamas to leave. This is evidence that it does not want Hamas members, but rather wants to destroy as much of Rafah as possible. The scene was terrifying tonight. Many families are fleeing to the south of Khan Yunis to an unknown road now. Fortunately, our current location is in the middle area of Khan Yunis.
August 7th, 2024, pro-Palestinian protesters interrupted Vice President Kamala Harris during a campaign rally in Michigan, chanting, "We won't vote for genocide." The Vice President replied, "If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking."
The situation here is very dangerous. The artillery shelling east of Deir Ibalah, that is north of Khan Yunis, is violent and has not stopped since sunrise today. Today will be hot at all levels. I hope the forecast will be positive.
I just report the news. I don't make it. August 13th, 2024. Netanyahu reportedly hardens his negotiating team's position, insisting that Israel keep control of Gaza's southern border, a new condition. Netanyahu also insists on security checkpoints to search Palestinians trying to return to their homes in northern Gaza.
I was asked to speak at a retreat for Women's International League of Peace and Freedom, so I asked Yasser to write something for me to read.
August the 15th. Every free person came here to participate against the greatest evil in the world, which is Israeli Zionism. In the last month of this war, we have been displaced more than 12 times. With each displacement trip, we lose a part of ourselves and are struck with waves of anger, heartache, and hysteria. Despite that, the children consider each displacement trip a new life and begin to adapt to this life again. This is a miniature model of the psychological state we are going through now. We are now on this decisive day, despite the state of hunger, fear, and anxiety that we are living in, as well as the exhausting of the body and the soul. We have a new hope for the beginning of a new life to end this war on the decisive day of these negotiations. Therefore, we demand that everyone now increase the pressure in order to reach a real ceasefire. We do not want anything from this world except to stop the current slaughter. Another aspect of this war is my desire to help needy families here in Gaza, because the pictures and videos coming out of Gaza do not describe the pain in the eyes of the children and mothers here because of hunger and the poor economic situation. So we started creating a new donation link in order to try to help as many families here as possible. We always look to find ways to bring joy to the hearts and eyes of children and mothers here. We're always confident in what you give us, whether it is material or moral. Hugs to all of you in the midst of this suffering. Life does not end, and it continues despite this death and hunger here.
August 15th, 2024, over 100 Israeli settlers attacked the Palestinian village of Jeed in West Bank today, killing one Palestinian and burning cars. Israeli newspaper Haaretz reveals that an Israeli army unit was nearby during the 4-hour attack and did nothing to stop it or arrest the attackers. Since October 7, Israeli forces and settlers have killed 632 Palestinians in the West Bank, including 147 children.
August 21st from Al Mawasi. There is an advance of Israeli vehicles now in the north of Khan Yunis, near the port of Qarada, the sea town. The situation is very dangerous here in the Mawasi. Ambulances are transporting the injured as a result of this sudden entry, and also the displacement is very large. Also evacuating areas of Bayer al-Balah. My family has spent many nights on the streets. Now, because of the displacement, there's nowhere in Gaza to go. They tell us to leave, but we don't know where to go.
August 21st, 2024, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken leaves Middle East saying, quote, ceasefire talks may be last chance to free captives from Gaza, unquote. He returns to the U.S. with no agreement for a ceasefire.
My cousin was martyred a short while ago, just a few minutes ago. The situation is very dangerous. Danger came to here for my cousin. I took a picture of him on the ground. He is a child no more than 12 years old. Who did he hurt? He never hurt anyone. Also, a short while ago, 2 tents near us burned down. The distance between my tent and the fire is only 100 meters. The danger is very close. I hope I don't lose any of my family members.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
August 22nd, 2024. Israeli attacks have killed at least 10,490 school and university students and injured another 16,700, while more than 500 school teachers and university educators have also been killed, according to the El Mazan Center. All educational facilities in Gaza have remained closed, and hundreds of school buildings have been damaged or destroyed. On Wednesday, an Israeli attack on a school for orphans in Gaza City killed several people, mostly children and women, sheltering there after being displaced by previous Israeli strikes. Late last month, an Israeli attack on a school filled with thousands of displaced Palestinians in northern Gaza killed at least 15 people. Days earlier, an attack on another school turned shelter in Gaza City killed 22 people, mostly women and children, who had sought refuge there. Israeli forces have repeatedly attacked schools, alleging that Hamas uses them as command centers. Hamas denies the charges. Israel is committing, quote, scholasticide, unquote, the deliberate and systematic destruction of the Palestinian education system in Gaza, according to a recent report by the Al-Mazan Center for Human Rights. Gaza has become the most dangerous place in the world to be a child, according to UNICEF.
August 27th from Balan, Gaza. Thank you, my friend. We are fine. I don't go out much because of what happened in Balans with the bombing of the car in front of the coffee shop where I always sit to get internet. The situation is very dangerous here. I don't know what I can do now except reduce movement outside the camp, only when necessary. August 28th. Your prayers for us in these times are needed more than ever. My end. They bomb everything they want without any consideration for the overcrowding here. I hope that I do not lose anyone from my family. I'm grateful to you for this blessed effort. You are the future of my family. You saved us from hunger, humiliation, and oppression in the past, and you are still doing so. And I am confident that you will do so in the future as well. Nothing is impossible.
What does he mean, nothing is impossible? Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I don't understand.
August 29th, Al-Mawasi. My family has a cold and also a sore throat. Also, today we went to the doctor for Youssef, who is suffering from ear pain. It turned out that he needs an operation to implement tubes inside the ear to remove the wax that forms inside the ear. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything now because of the collapse of the health system inside the hospital. We will wait until the end of the war. I hope this pain does not worsen with Youssef. August 31st, Al-Mawasi. Youssef's pain is better now. Unfortunately, mental illness has struck Nada again. She imagines that she misses us when she hears every sound of a missile. She loses control and screams, and that frightens the children. She is so tired of this suffering.
Okay, how will he walk the kilometers to get water if Nada can't take care of the kids? How will he go on his daily search for food? How? Why? Can someone just tell me?
September 8th. I have very sad news today. The Israelis targeted a house in my village. The number of victims, 13, 7 of them from my family. My father and my 2 brothers are there with my brother's family sleeping in our house. I did not go with them because of Nada's illness, but I'm always worried about them, especially when I hear that there is an attack in the village. I am sending you pictures of my family members. Unfortunately, they're all in the bags and cannot be seen. September 26th, Gaza. The gist of Netanyahu's speech to the United Nations is a continuation of the war. I am not optimistic at all. Blinken and the U.S. Congress, they've gone astray.
October 21st, 2024. In the past 24 hours, 108 people have been killed in bombings across the territory, according to local health officials. The nightmare in Gaza is intensifying. Horrifying scenes are unfolding in the northern strip amidst relentless Israeli strikes and an ever-worsening humanitarian crisis. Tor Wennesland, the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East peace process, said in a statement, quote, "Nowhere is safe in Gaza. We owe it to the families suffering in Gaza and Israel. The war must stop now," unquote, he added.
October 21st. This tent next to me was bombed a short while ago. One person was killed and several were injured. I was walking with my sons, with Yusuf and Mohammed, next to this tent before the targeting. Thank God we were not harmed.
October 22nd, 2024, near Be'eri, Israel. Jewish settlers, including ministers in Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet, gathered on the border of Gaza on Monday, where they called for settlements Israel evacuated 2 decades ago to be reestablished in the war-torn Palestinian enclave. If we want it, we can renew the settlements in Gaza, National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir told the hundreds who gathered for a 2-day outdoor conference titled Preparing to Resettle Gaza. Smoke could be seen rising in Gaza and the loud bangs of artillery sounded in the distance. Ben-Gvir also called for Israel to, quote, encourage emigration, unquote, of Palestinians from Gaza. It's the best and most moral solution, not by force, but by telling them, we're giving you the option. Leave to other countries. The land of Israel is ours, he said.
Indeed, the United States of America is the only one who can put an end to this. But there are joint plans with Israel that are being implemented, and they are the priority for the United States. Israel and the United States will not give up, and Hamas will not give up either. And we will die.
And so it goes. And so it goes.
January 10th, 2025. Honestly, I thank you very much for thinking of me, because my mind is really not the same as it was before. Thank you, and your words make me really happy. When the truce happens, the crossing will open, but we do not know in what way and whether civilians will be allowed to leave. Let us be prepared.
I just got a text from Crystal Zivon. She's not going to be able to make it tonight, but she just got a recent text from Yasser. And would you like to read the text from Yasser?
As you wish.
If you can do that, it literally just came today. If you can read that. Can you see that okay?
It disappeared on me. I touched the wrong one.
I know. I know.
Not magic fingers. Even though the truce is coming into effect, I'm not happy at all. My mind is very tired. Nightmares, negative thoughts are starting to come out now. I started thinking about the danger in every step we take. A little while ago, I had a conversation with our neighbor who is from the northern Gaza Strip. He broke my heart. He said, "You will go now, and we will be left alone. With you, I feel safe from stray dogs or thieves." His many words made me sad. Also, my mind thinks, what will happen if the truce is broken? I don't have the energy to continue, because Egypt is asking the United States of America to make efforts to continue the truce. Also, I don't have confidence that Hamas will hand over everything for free. Also, I no longer believe that we are really close to the truce and that we will return home. Will the bombing and shooting really stop? Will we return to our previous lives? I don't know. I'm not reassured by all of this, maybe because we've lived through things beyond imagination. The subconscious mind is still thinking negatively. Please let people know that we are now hoping there will be at least a brief window where the Rafah crossing will be open and we can get my family out. If it happens, they will need to act immediately, so we're trying to make sure they have the funds to get out. If they don't get out, very possible, they will need funds for survival. This is just one family. But so far, it is our efforts that have kept them from starving, and more important, given them hope and kept them from total despair. End of message.
There's one last thing here that was part of the program. I'll try to pull it up to YouTube that she had attached. That I'm trying to see if I can do this here.
You have to use the below search window.
Can't put it in up here. I'm trying to click it.
What's that?
Hey, did you want that mic left on?
Oh, no, it's okay. I just have to put this in. Thank you. And then I can just put the number in, right? Sorry about this.
Doing great.
Today is 9th of January 2023. Now I am in Rafah, in a new camp with my family. I built 5 tents for my family. Look.